If I keep getting views like I did on that last video, shit, I'm gonna have to upload 8 times a week. And I'll keep it real with you from the start. I'm lying through my teeth about uploading that frequently. But you know that AdSense was looking nice. Not as much as Social Blade says I make, but I ain't mad at it. I gotta come up with like an intro saying or something. Welcome back is the easy one. But that's what like every 15-year-old aspiring vlogger says. And I'm a 16-year-old aspiring vlogger, so that doesn't work for me. I like howdy partners. That's not cliche. It's not too aggressive. And if anything, it just reaffirms the fact that I'm the rootinest, tootinest sheriff in town. It just rolls off the tongue with my southern drawl. We're going to segue that one into a subject intro. The only thing more obvious than my southernness is the fact that fat people are oppressed and hated, and we need to dismantle fat phobia. It's horrid. Real quick though, you know what I don't understand? Why is fat phobia a thing, but ugly phobia isn't? Like you can get on a diet, you can lose weight, you can lose the fat. You can't lose the ugly. There's not a diet for that. And this list is almost guaranteed to argue fat people aren't lazy, but what I just said disproves that. Guys, instead of maybe admitting that we have issues, let's just say that everybody hates us. Just like Islam. And for the sake of the AdSense looking as good on this one as it did the last one, I want to preface this shitfest by saying, I don't hate fat people. I really don't. I hate fat people like this. But yeah, either way, this is a list of 51 ways to make the world less hostile to fat people. And this is brand new. This was posted on the 16th. About that. It isn't new anymore. This is exactly why nobody could ever beef with me on this platform. Because nobody can make me look as stupid as me. I'm over here all giddy that I found an article to make a video on that I haven't seen anybody else do, and come September, and it's, I'm not even gonna, I shouldn't even say the month. How lazy can I be? You know what? No, I'm not lazy. Fuck you, I was in North Dakota working. I don't even know how long it's been. I haven't checked the date since the last time I uploaded. July 14th, so it's not as bad as I thought, but it's bad. I mean, to be fair, you really shouldn't have expected more out of me, but if you're disappointed, sorry. Either way, real quick, I just want to say, going forward, I'm going to try really hard not to be an asshole and leave everybody hanging for like 90 days. So I gotta be within the first 100 channels to make a video about this. Top 1,000 maybe. Perhaps 10. Alright. First, learn that fat isn't a negative adjective. Yes, it is. It can't be a positive one. Never in the history of ever have a group of girls been sitting down and been like, you know what, Shaniqua? You are so fat. Macondra, you really think so? Thanks, girl. I've been working on me. Hey, feeling like you want to be a decent person? I'm making this video, so what does that tell you? Awesome. Oh, very accepting. I love it. Yes, I'm talking to you, my non-fat friends. I'm inviting you to educate yourself about the experiences of fat people as we move through the world and challenge you to be our ally in creating a utopia of fat acceptance. As if you're an alien species that just came out of nowhere. And for the record, you're probably not moving through the world. It's more like a roll. Or perhaps a waddle. Boom. There's your first issue. I was a fat people. I didn't move through the world very much. As a matter of fact, I didn't move through anything very much. Except Cheetos. Okay, real quick. My camera battery didn't die. All this is just VFX to make myself look unprofessional, but I'm totally not. But honestly, who wants to be allies with fat people trying to make everyone accept them? Like, you don't have a problem. You have the exact opposite of a problem. You have a surplus in food. I don't know what you're pissed about. Fat acceptance can't be a thing. Not because you should feel bad about yourself. I don't care how you feel about yourself. You do you. But getting fat is easy. Getting fat is literally one of the easiest things you can possibly do if you're not homeless. Like, it's so much easier to be fat than it is not to be fat. So if we just start accepting people for being fat, we'd have a species of people dying in their 30s, and there would be no reproduction because nobody's attractive enough to reproduce. And on top of not being attractive enough to reproduce, who would have the stamina to reproduce? No one. We're gonna die. Fat phobia is fundamentally built into our societal structures and sits on a foundation of racism and colonization that's the perfect base for privileging thinness. Oh, shut up. How come all these bitchy causes always have to bring up or compare themselves to racism in some way? Racism is infinitely higher on the asshole scale than fat phobia. Matter of fact, it's not even on the same scale. And judging by the field of play, we could do good by paying attention to scales more often. This article reeks of someone who takes selfies only in specific angles with their chin bulged out a mile long. Number 1, learn to cope with the word fat. We're fine with the word fat. We don't have anything to overcome. We're cool with that word. We fatties refer to ourselves in a lot of different ways. Some prefer plus size, bigger, curvy, or person of size, but plenty of us describe ourselves as fat, and it's not self-deprecating. Maybe to you, but us thin folk don't quite think that way. 2, if someone refers to themselves as fat, don't fall over yourself trying to correct them. Instead, ask yourself why you've attached a negative value to the word. Gee, I don't know. Maybe because it's a negative value? Just spitballing here. If someone's talking about themselves and they say they're fat, I'm going to assume they're just doing that bullshit where they say something just so someone else has to say the opposite and make them feel good about themselves. I'm just going to be like, yeah, we know you like that fried chicken. We can tell. Understand that diets don't work. Bold statement there. And are the evil child of capitalism and body-shaming culture. Over 95% of people who lose weight through dieting put the weight back on within 5 years. If diets worked, the diet industry would be financially unsustainable. No. New fad diets that you find on Pinterest every week don't work. Eating at a caloric deficit works. I don't care who you are or how slow you think your metabolism is. It just works. You don't do it right. If it takes someone else to tell you that you can't eat a certain way for 6 weeks and then drink gallons of Twinkies a day and expect to actually keep weight off, you need a certain kind of help. How is that such a strange concept? How can you possibly even think, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do this for a certain number of weeks and then I'm going to be good for the rest of my life. 6, stop talking about your diet. If you want to lose weight, fine. You do you. Hey, that's my sign. But understand how damaging it is for us to constantly hear how unwanted and unacceptable fat bodies are. This is something I will never understand about these people. They go on about how, we're happy with our bodies and fuck y'all if anybody tries to shame us, yada yada yada. Then 2 sentences later, it's so damaging for us to hear how unwanted we are. Pick one. 11, watch out for pity in your response to fat people. We don't need your pity. We need your acceptance and your action to help other thin people get there too. No one wants to get where you're going, Chief. We're taking the next exit. Alright, real quick. We see how this list is going so far, right? I just want to make it clear that these next 2 are totally legit and they're in order, number 12 and number 13. 12, stop fetishizing fat bodies. That is not as common as you think. Don't expect fat folk to be grateful because you deem them fuckable. We're people. Okay, that's number 12. Here comes number 13. Don't desexualize it either. What the fuck do you want?
2,000 years later.
Don't you dare desexualize us fat people. And don't even think about sexualizing us either. Why is that so funny to me? 14. Understand that fat women get harassed and assaulted too. Yeah. 14. Understand that fat women get harassed and I can't do it. I'm not going to make it, Chief. Fortnite. 14. Understand that fat women get harassed and assaulted too. Even if fat bodies don't do it for you, remember that sexual assault is about power, not attraction. The fear of being ridiculed or disbelieved for speaking out about assault is often heightened for fat women. I mean, I'm not saying you should sexually assault anyone. That's pretty fucked up. But if you're gonna do it, man, why would you do it on that? At least go for the hot chick that would never bang you. You're ruining your life. You're on a list. You're in jail. Society hates you. Good luck getting a job. She might as well be hot. Perhaps this is offensive, but I'm too far into the analogy to stop now. That's like committing to a heist, but targeting a sunglasses kiosk at the mall. Go for Bank of America. What have you got to lose? That said, any unsolicited ass grabs you hand out are not on me. I like my freedom. Freedom. 16. Understand that fat and unhealthy are not the same thing. That's like saying owning a Mustang and not knowing how to drive aren't the same thing. It's the same thing. No, these two aren't the same thing, but it's like rectangles and squares. Not every rectangle is a square, but every square is a rectangle. Being fat means you're unhealthy. Being unhealthy doesn't mean you're fat. Like I said, I don't hate fat people. I'm not coming for any fat people. If any fat people are watching this and they disagree just as much as me, we're on the same team, buddy. But it's just a fact. Your body's working harder just to keep you alive, which isn't good for yourself over a long period of time. And chances are you're not getting fat on these nutrient-dense foods you just enjoy so much. 18. Never, ever, ever pressure your partner to lose weight. Believing in bodily autonomy for your partner extends to supporting them in the choices they make about their body shape and size. Yeah, don't be a female here. Don't date someone just because you think you can change them. Just don't date fat people if you don't like fat people. 19. If you care that much about what other people eat, donate your time and money to organizations that campaign for affordable nutritional food in poor communities. The thing is, no one cares about what someone eats. What people care about are these fatties telling other people it's okay to be fat, when in reality, that's an awful way to live and a fast way to die. You can chomp down on 15 Big Macs a day for all I care. Just keep it to yourself. 23. While you're at it, read up on how BMI has been widely debunked as an inaccurate and misleading measure of health. Yeah, whatever, you're beating a dead horse. We all know BMI isn't accurate and it's dumb. But if you're using that argument to justify your weight, chances are your BMI isn't going to be skewed by how much muscle mass you have anyways. 29. Sometimes you're going to sit next to a fat person on a plane. You'll cope. I can guarantee that person is far more physically uncomfortable than you are. No, they're not. Being crammed in a seat is different from someone's rolls spilling on you. 31. Also, make sure your guest towels are the biggest size they have in the shop. Don't make me scoot around your house in a towel that leaves me half naked. Dude, I'm gonna have to make like 15 extra portions for dinner, buy another cake, and you want me to cater my towel purchases for you. F*** off. 37. Call out your favorite comedian when they resort to fat-phobic jokes. I'll pass. Also, I'm going to pick that up. 40. Fund critical analysis through Patreon, crowdfunding sites, and direct donations to research institutes. There's hardly any cash in fat research. I wonder why. I'll tell you why. There's nothing more we need to know. We know all we need. What are we going to do? Give a bunch of fat people a huge crowdfunding to sit in a lab and examine the 10 millionth obese person to die from heart disease? Like, gee, I wonder what caused it. It's a scientific mystery. 43. Understand that there are different kinds of fat bodies. Not all fat people have hourglass figures or carry their weight in societally acceptable places. Yeah, we know. 51. And lastly, thank God, never forget that if you're not advocating for fat women and non-binary people, then your feminism isn't intersectional. Because, and say it with me now, fat shaming and diet culture are tools of the patriarchy. Dude, fat shaming is proactive. Name one person who lost a bunch of weight that never got picked on. I'll wait. Well, after reading that, I'm going to go hop in the Challenger, put a brick on the gas pedal, and take a nap. Or, in other words, I'm going to live as dangerous as morbidly obese people. If this video in any way inspired you to leave that second portion of cake alone, or get the Diet Coke instead of the regular, congratulations, you're on to good things. I'll take my payment ASAP. Just hit that refresh button and don't skip the ads. We'd be square. Drive safe.